Question 4, so we've definitely got a triangle question this time. It's worth noting that this is in degrees, so we've had our calculator in radians for the previous questions, and now we need to make sure it's back into degrees. So the first bit is we want to show the length of BC, so this side here, is 8.56. So we have a look at our triangle. Well, what have we got? We've got two sides and the angle in between, so a bit like a C, so that's the cosine rule. So for part A, we know that BC squared equals 7.6 squared plus 8.3 squared minus 2 times 7.6 times 8.3 cos 65 degrees. And it's worth noting that is in the formula book if you forget it on page 4. Now it's a show that question, so it's worth showing a few steps of working. First of all, I'm just going to add the first two terms together. 126.65. Thinking about the order of operations here, so I'm going to do the multiplication on this section. So that's 126.16 cos 65 degrees. I type that into my calculator and I get that BC squared is 73.3325. Okay, I must remember to square root it, so BC is the square root of that, which is 8.5634, and it said correct to three significant figures. However, it says show that, so first of all I've shown more significant figures, and now I'm going to round to 3, so 8.56 to 3 significant figures, which is what they asked for. Okay, so part B, they want the area of triangle ABC, and this time again 3 significant figures. Now for an area you need the same things you need for a cosine rule. You need two sides and the angle in between. This time think of it as an A shape for area. We have that in the original question, so let's use the answers we know are accurate. So the area is a half times one of the sides times the other side sine 65 degrees. 65 is the angle in the middle. So that gives us 28.585, and they wanted 3 significant figures, so that's 28.6 to 3 significant figures. Right, two fairly straightforward, just using the formula. Now we're going to have to do some thinking. Let's get rid of all my lines. Right, the perpendicular from A to BC. So let's draw a line from A to BC. Perpendicular, so it's going to be at right angles. Meets the end at point D. And we want to work out the length of AD here. Now, usually, the end of a question will involve using what we've got. So what do we know? Well, we know the area of the entire triangle. We work that out to be 28.6. And we know that the length of BC, the length of BC is 8.56. So maybe we could use these two things, because we also know that you did at GCSE or pre-GCSE that the area of a triangle can also be the half base times height, and BC is the base and AD is the height. So we can put all these facts together and work out what AD is. So, as I'm now going back to use working, I'm going to use my more accurate figures. The area of the triangle is 28.585. So a half times the base times the height equals 28.585. So a half times 8.5634 times AD equals 28.585, and that gives us that AD equals 6.676, and it said to the nearest 0.1 metre, so that's 6.7 metres to the nearest 0.1 metre.